As you know, domain server is a critical to the operations of the managing all organizations, users and the computer from the central server. This essential service can be abused if there is no valid security controls implemented. In this part, we are going to hack the Windows Active Directory domain controller server. So let's move to the practical scenario. Open the terminal and ping to the domain server that you want to hack. In our case, it is 10.10.10.182 and we are getting the response. That means it is reachable. Clear the screen and let's start the process. First, let's find out the open ports with associated service. Those are running on the server using the nmap. To do that, type the nmap space sc space sv and specify the domain server's IP address here and hit enter to start the scanning. sc used for the default NAC script and sv used to determine the version of the service running on the specific port. It may take some time to complete the scanning. Scanning has been completed and we have the results of the open ports and list of the service with the version. Domain name is the cascade.local that running with the Microsoft Windows Active Directory service on 389 TCP port. Open other terminal window and type ldep search -h and specify the host IP address of the domain and -p to specify the ldep port, -x space -b and specify the domain name here and greater than sign and specify the location of the text document where output will be stored and hit enter. All output will be stored in the cascade.txt document saved on the desktop. Process has been completed and now open that txt file. As you can see here, we have found all the details. Now find out the sensitive information we have captured. Search for the legacy password and it is here. This is the encrypted password of the R. Thompson name user account. Now copy the password and go back to the terminal. Let's decoding the base64 encoding password. Base64 algorithm converts the binary data into the table of the 64 characters. Type the echo space -n and paste the encoded password here. And then pipe symbol and type base64 and -d to decode and hit enter. As you can see here, we have the decoded password. Copy the password that we can use to access the domain server's shared folder. Open the terminal and type smb client -u to specify the username. In our case, username is r.thompson. Mention in the double inverter comma, then -l and specify 4 times backslash and enter the IP address of the domain server and end with double backslash and hit enter. And it will ask for the password of the R. Thompson user account. Copy the decoded password and paste it here and hit enter. And as you can see here, we are able to access and the view of the content of the domain server's shared folder. So using this trick, you can exploit the vulnerable domain server and get the unauthorized access. It is more important for every organization to protect their servers and the client from the threats. These are the ways will help you to protect your servers and the desktop against the most common attacks and reduce the attack damages. Update your operating system. Always keep an operating system up to date with the latest service packs, patches and the hotfix. WSO server help you to manage updates from the central server for the Windows environment. Second one is updated antivirus and malware. Any system without antivirus or anti-malware protection or with outdated versions of this type of the software can become a primary target. So make sure to use the reputed antivirus solution and keep it up to date with the latest antivirus signature. The third one is build a baseline domain controller configuration. Use Microsoft Security Compliance Manager and Security Configuration Wizard to create a configuration baseline for the domain controller which can be deployed and enforced by the group policy. The next one is block internet access on the servers. In most cases, internet browsing and the downloading access are enabled on the server. In results, various unauthorized and the malicious software is likely to be installed. So it is recommended to disable the internet access on servers. The next one is enable firewall. Any vulnerable service can be exploited using the open port. So it is always recommended to block inbound and the outbound ports and allow only necessary ports to specific host IP or the services. Since Active Directory is the backbone of an IT infrastructure and the most of the enterprise applications dependent on it, it is impressive and the mandatory that we secure the Active Directory environment from the incidents.